Hello and welcome to Sheba Online Classes, Standard 8. Today I will be finishing of the Unit 3, that is the prose lesson, Sir Isaac Newton. So, he is a ingenious scientist, okay, without him physics we would not learn so many laws and laws of motion about the gravity, force of gravity, isn't it? So, such a genius God has given us in this earth. So, really that is whatever his work, what happened in his childhood, where he was born, everything is given as an autobiography. You know what is autobiography? Nathaniel, that is the author of this, that is Nathaniel Hawthorne. He wrote this autobiography of Sir Isaac Newton. Through him only. That is, autobiography is like what to say, each and every detail of a person, no, any great person. You need to be a very great person to write autobiography, isn't it? So that so Isaac Newton was such a great person. So Nathaniel Hawthorne, he went through all his, that is from childhood, what happened when as a boy, what he did, and then as a teenager, and then in that is older stage as a man, and then till his death, what happened, everything in detail. He had collected all that is information and compiled it into a novel. Okay, see there, I'll just read about the author. Nathaniel Hawthorne, he was born in July 4th, 1804. May 1864 he died. Was an American novelist. He often his works are often focused on history, morality and religion. Okay, so then afterwards he wrote this biography of Sir Isaac Newton, was published in Nathaniel Hawthorne's True Stories from History and Biography in 1851. 1851 he wrote this autobiography. From there, one small excerpt given to you here just to make you explain, that is to understand the life of Sir Isaac Newton. This is given in two chapters, that is two parts, section 1 and section 2, because quite a huge lesson. So for you to, they broken up into two sections. Okay, the first session I will tell you now. Section 1. First, I will, as I am reading to you, I will explain it. All right. So what's the first one? Where he was born. When he was born. On Christmas Day. See, Christmas Day. Like in 1642, December 25th, he was born. How Jesus was born, such a that is a messenger of God. He was born. Same way, he as a messenger told us about the that is laws of motion and gravity, about the physics, about calculus and about everything. So many theories have been taken. Such a great person. Okay, see, two great persons were born same day. So Isaac Newton was born at the small village of Woolsthorpe in England. Okay, then when his mother was giving birth to him, she little realized that tomorrow he is going to be the great person. The world is going to be talking year after year, millions, and how many years since now. Okay, till we are learning about him in lessons every day, day to day life, without whatever he had done, his contribution to society, definitely nothing. You know, we would not know anything about the celestial stars, about the solar system, about the gravitation, nothing would have known. Like he only had found out everything. So next we will learn about him. Then afterwards, that is Newton's father passed away. So Newton's mother, again he remarried to another clergyman, and she went away to live with him. Okay, but Newton was that is given, she stayed with his grandmother. She only looked after him, and she was very kind to him, very she liked him so much, and she brought him up very well. She sent him off to some school, and he was learning over there. And then what happened is he had his brains, he is such a genius. Small thing he used to see, for example, left to care with the gold with his grandmother. She was looked after by his grandmother, who was very kind to him and sent him to school. In his early years, Isaac was chiefly remarkable for his ingenious, that is ability to work in with tools and such anything he was able to make something out of it. Okay, so in mechanical occupation, that is anything like he gets hold of some screwdriver and some wrench and anything, no, any pieces of metal, he will make something out of it. So like that his mind was going on working. like something you want to do. That in that small age itself he is able to do so many things. What he made is so many clocks, different types of clocks. Like he was very interested in this mechanical way. Okay, so then Isaac contributed to many curious articles, like something people had not seen at all. That kind of an way back in the 18th century, clocks, okay, whatever clocks were there. That is, they used to see the time. But see, water clocks, he used to make sundials. Like sundials, when the falling of the sun rays, that will keep moving. Exactly, you will know what time it is. So that time itself, he was such a genius making such clocks. And see what kind of a things he used to make. He'll always say, some see there's one saying, child is born with a silver spoon, isn't it? That means what? Very rich person's child. Now what his grandmother is telling, he was born with a saw and a chisel in his hand. That means what? A saw and a chisel. Chisel means a small ulli we say, no, in Tamil. That one small thing to make a lot of things, lot of small articles like that. Just a pun, okay, playing with words, right? Then the neighbors looked at him with vast admiration, whatever he was able to do. And who used to boast about? His grandmother. My grandson is like that, my grandson is like that. He is such a clever boy. See what he's made. She never gets tired of praising him. Anybody comes around and sees whatever he's making, Isaac show us what he's making. She'll be so happily, she'll show everything to all the people and she'll praise him. He never gets tired of praising him. So such a very sweet lady she was. And manufactured his own. Then what happened is, she sent him to some apprentice because he had all this that knack of making clocks. No, she sent him to an apprentice to further do something, like he can earn a lot. So she said is, he'll make a capital workman. That means he'll earn a lot. One of these days, she would probably say, no fear, but what Isaac will do well in the world and be a rich man before he dies. So he said, my Isaac will do like this, my Isaac will do that. She kept on praising him and she'll say, today he is like this, tomorrow he is going to be a very great man. So whatever word she had said, it became an amen. Okay, so everybody started, that is, he kept on coming and seeing his works. And in a small age itself, he became so famous. And everyone kept talking about him in school and wherever he studied, and that village, that people, everybody used to gather around him, looking at all the curious things. And then some friends, no doubt, about Isaac will say, that he saw all his things, like what? Mechanical skill. What is mechanical skill? See the name of the clocks, what he did. Set of dancing figures in the clock, like two dancing figures. When the clock is going to strike, the dancing figures will one kind of a tune and they'll dance out. And then a dial plate, when the hour is struck, or like those where a ship sails across the face of the clock and is seen tossing up and down on the waves as often as the pendulum vibrates. See how clever! Like there was water inside the clock. Okay, and when the clock strikes, the ship will just come up like that and show the time. See how nice it is, no? So intriguing to see, very curious to know how he had done it. And then later clocks like some wheels and weights like other clocks, but by dropping of water. He had made so many clocks, but dropping of water dropping, and when seconds, how the seconds we have got 3 needles, in our thing. The seconds, how it moves, like that, water droplets. Just imagine that, water droplets, and to know the second and the timing. That was a real genius. Everybody all over the village came to see it. So water droplets, dropping of water, this was an object of great wonderment to all the people in the neighborhood. And it must be confessed that there are few boys or men either who could contrive to tell what a clock it is by means of bowl of water. In a bowl of water, keep that clock there and it will tell you exactly what is the time. So really we cannot get a picture in the mind, like how that will be. Go to Google up and see the water clock, then the sundial. The sundial is still there in Woolsthorpe in England, where he was born, his birthplace. The same place he has got that, it is kept as a museum. That place is kept as museum, and everybody can go and see whatever his things are, that is he's made. Beside the water clock, Isaac made sundial, and then the sundial is still to be existence at the wool store, just I told you, on the corner of the house where he dwelt. And then for next is what? For instance, what method do you suppose he took to find out the strength of the wind? Or next, now he followed about this, about the clocks, about the water clocks, all that. Next, the strength of the wind. Like each time he wants, curious to know how this is happening, how that is happening. So he'll go and see the wind is blowing. No, when the wind is blowing, sometimes it is less, sometimes it is more. So what is the reason for this wind to blow? Where is it coming from? So what he does it, he goes to a high place. When the wind is blowing this side, no, he jumps across against the wind. Like the wind is blowing this wind, he jumps across against the wind to find out the pressure of the wind. See how he clever is it. What you will do, you will be sitting with the phone and playing games, no, in that time. Now what he is doing, what he has done, see, instead of wasting time going about with friends, see what he has done. Because of him only we came to know so many things, right? So he used to jump, length of his jump, he would calculate the force of the gentle breeze or a brisk breeze or a tempest. See that, how he is jumping, no, accordingly what length he is jumping, all that he will calculate and say, the force of the wind is so much. See that, thus even with his boyish sports, he was continually searching out the secret of philosophy. Even with this playing also, this small playing, that is the wind is blowing, no, immediately he will go and jump. When he is jumping, then he will calculate the distance of his jump, and to whatever is the force of the wind, he will calculate. So this sport itself is showing how genius he was. The secrets of philosophy he used to write down, immediately write down. Okay, next. Then what happened is he found out the windmill. Now those days, how the wheat, maize, how was it ground? How was it made into flour? Okay, the cereals, all that, no, they used to have a huge windmill. Okay, the windmill, in center of that windmill, there will be two big grinding stones. Like once there will be one big, like one fan, no, you've seen a windmill, no? When the air breeze is very gentle, it will go slowly, it will grind slowly. As that grows round, when the breeze is too much, the wind, it will blows the windmill rotates. When it rotates, what happened? The stone will start rumbling inside. They will rotate. When it's rotating, the grains, whatever inside, no, automatically it falls and it will become into flour. Okay, that was the way of making flour in those days. So what happened? That was curious about it. Isaac Newton was very curious. So what happened? Immediately after he comes from school, he'll spend most of the time in the windmill. When there was a holiday, no, inside, well, let us say weekdays, weekends, no, he'll go and sit inside the windmill, find out, why this is going around, why this how it is moving, and what is that kept inside. Can I make it a little better than that? What is happening? So all that, he just simply not going and seeing as one museum, not going sightseeing. He goes and sees how to do it, how to make it better. Like how to make production more easily. Like it is taking slow time to grind, no. So how to make it better? So he'll go note down everything neatly. He'll note down, make diagrams out of it, and then what he did is he came back home and he made a miniature windmill. Just imagine, whatever he had metals, and he goes to the spare shop, buys all that metal parts, screwdrivers. Then for the windmill, no, that fan there. For that he took linen. Linen means cloth. With the cloth he made. Then immediately same to same, but in a different little modernized way of making it. And then he showed it to his grandmother. Said, this is the wind. And everybody, again his friends, all of them gathered, and that was the most beautiful thing they said. All his friends said, such a beautiful thing you made. My God, you are such a genius, really. And it was how the big windmill used to grind. Same way, even this miniature thing, he just blew. When he blew that, no, the windmill will go around, and inside used to put grains also, and the grains used to splatter around, and what? Immediately 2 minutes you get the flour out. So that was such a genius out of him. Everybody appreciated him. So that was it. So then after he made everything, no, he considered a model of the windmill, and then afterwards what he did with how he made it, this squirrel traps, no, rat traps, that small box, with that he made, with that windmill box, no, that down part, that was made with the rat traps, the squirrel traps. Then afterwards he used linen and whatever is given there, whatever he's made. Then afterwards, after he made everything, his friend said, you left out one thing, no, he said. What he left out? He was thinking, everything I made perfect, no, the rice is being ground, the maize is grinding, everything, the wind is rotating properly, everything is done. What is happening? He did not make a miller, it seemed. Miller means the millman, that man who is going to operate everything, no, that man he did not make. Oh, then he said, okay, I have not made it. Then immediately, why should he leave everything? His friends told him, no, so there should be a miller. Okay, fine. Again he made a miniature man over there just to stand, make him one small doll he made and made him stand there. So that's a miller, windmill and the miller. So he made his manufacture, that is completed, whatever he made. So that's the first part, section 1, that is over. All his boyhood when he was a child. And now second section is about how he became a teenager and how he grew up into a man, and from here only the main, his complete what he found out about the gravitational force and all that. No, second section only is the thing. Till 1 it was his boyhood. Then Isaac's playmates were enchanted with this windmill. That's what, everything were very fascinated with whatever he was doing. Everything he was, such fascination they used to look at him. And then what happened is, finally, now as he grew older, Isaac Newton has grown older. That older means he is coming to his, from the boyhood to his teenage and the manhood. Okay. So that is, as a day long he left to himself. He was either absorbed in thought or engaged in some book of mathematics or natural philosophy. So now he is a very very reserved person, becoming very reserved, because his mind is totally going on, trying to find out something new. He is not wasting his time simply thinking anything nonsense. He only wants to do something. Something is there, something up inside his mind. He can feel that something is going to happen, something is there, I have to find out. It is up to me to find out. So he reserves himself, that is, he does not meet anybody. He goes and stays in one place, keeps thinking about mathematics. He puts on, solves mathematical problems, and then he look at the sky, continuously look at the sky only. What is the sky? What is beyond the sky? What is beyond the sky? What is happening? All that. Then only he found about how the apple falls on his head. No, then why has it fallen down? Why is not going up like that? Why is it fallen down? Why are we walking? Why are we not floating? So that is why then gravitational force, the force of gravitation was found out. Okay, the law of motion was found out. So these are the various types of inventions he had done. So what happened is, some book of mathematics, natural philosophy. Then he looked up with that is curiosity to the stars, and wonder whether there were worlds like our own. He was thinking whether there was another one world up there. Like how our world is here, is there another one world up there? What is happening? So he brought one, he made a telescope of an own telescope, and he used to keep on looking at that. Something is there, I have to find out. So then how great was their distance from there? Then he said, there is some world there, I have to find out. So how great was their distance from the earth and the sky? What is the distance? So that he wants to measure. What is the distance from the earth to the sky? What is the distance? So, and what was the power that kept them in their courses? That means, in case if there is something there, why is it not falling inside? Why is it not falling down? What is the thing to keep it there itself? Why is the moon just stagnating there? Why is the sun there? Why are they not colliding? Why are they not coming down? So all that process, all those things were running in his mind. So, so perhaps even so early in life, Newton felt that a prescimental that he could be able to hereafter to answer all these questions. So he said, I will somehow find out and have all the questions answered. If anybody asks whatever question in my mind, I will definitely answer it, like that he said. And then when he was 14 years old, his mother, again she got married, the second husband also died. Then when her second husband died, what happened is, she came back home, she took his son, that is Newton, he took him, and he said, we have to start farming. Okay, now help me in farming, because there is nobody, no male member to help us, so only you are there, so you have to start looking at do some agriculture, then only we can earn, then only we can eat. So he said, but he was totally not interested. He wanted to study further, and then he explained. Now he is, what kind of a person he is. He was always inventing more and more things. So what happened is, his mother said, okay, then he said, I want to study further. Then again she put him in a school. So he then sent him back to school, and afterwards to the University of Cambridge. So somehow whatever he wanted to do, his mother helped him, and to that is whatever he wanted to do, she helped him. And then he found out, after he was studying, as he was studying, he found out the nature of light. It was the first that found out the nature of light. For this day nobody could tell what the sunshine was composed of until then. Sunshine was composed of what? Did anybody know? No. They were simply living their life. But everything he used to find out. And then suppose the story of the apple falling on his head will lead him to discover the force of gravitation, and which keeps the heavenly bodies in his courses. All this was until he had searched out all the laws, and then thoroughly he gone up at the stars and tracked him. Like how he found out is, as though he had gone up, taken a rocket and gone inside the galaxy and found out whether all the stars are there. Like that kind of a thing he has done. But at that time nobody had gone, no, nobody had thought about going to the universe, no. Like that time, without going there, he found out everything. See how clever. Okay, stars, and tracked them in their orbits. Whether there was an orbit there, and each one are going in their orbit, or that how he came to know everything in the being here itself. He was just calculating and finding out. He could have found out the mechanism of how he, as a boy, he found out the mechanism of the windmill and made a miniature windmill. Same way, as a man, he explained his fellow men the mechanism of the universe. So what he did is, he made a small solar system. He made a solar system, the sun, the planets around it, how it is going around the orbit, everything. How we make, like science exhibition, we make one small replica of the universe, solar system, no? Same thing he made that. Like how he made as a boy in a windmill, same thing. The mechanism of the universe he made as a small model, and he told them, he explained everything to them. This is it, this is what it is, the magnetic force of the sun, and then how the each planet is moving around in the same orbit, like that. So heavenly body. So he spent night after night in lofty towers, tall towers. He used to go and he keep that telescope, whatever he have found out, he had made it on his own, and gazing up to the heavenly bodies through the telescope. His mind was lifted from above the things of the world. He was never, he would never think about the world. He was not interested in anything else, only to find out about science, about the galaxy. Okay. So he spent the greater part of his life in worlds, but that lies thousands and millions of miles away. But he was more interested in what? Thousands and millions away, that world, the universe. For where the thoughts and the heart are, there is our true existence. So that is our existence, not this worldly life, not as very important to me. For me to finding out that only is more important, he used to say. Then Newton lived to be a very old man. Okay, as his grandmother, that when he was young itself, she blessed him, saying he is going to be a very great man. She blessed him, no, with such lovingly she blessed him. Same thing he had been. He lived to be a very old man. Nothing happened to him, no health issues, nothing. He lived to be a very old man. Then he renowned thinker, and was made a member of the parliament because of his invention, because of whatever he has done. The government had made him the member of the parliament, and received the honor of knighthood from the king. And he cared little for the earth, fame and honor. All this was nothing for him. For him, his mind was still. Now he is 85. Okay, still his mind is thinking of making something. What is going to happen? What can I find out? Like that. Okay, and felt no pride in the vastness of his knowledge. He did not say, oh, I have done this much, okay, that fame, that proudness, nothing. Such a ordinary person he was, simple person. Okay, then so all that has learned made him how little he knew in comparison to what remained to be known. So what he'll always tell is, he will not say, oh, I have done so much, I have done this. There is some more to do, there is something more. So still he is in the search of knowledge only, saying nothing, I have not done anything, there is such a lot more. So his mind is constantly running, there is no sleep at all, does not sleep, his mind is constantly awake always. When he is bodily sleeping, but his mind is always awake. So what happened is, this author is telling, I seem to myself like a child, he observed, playing on the seashore and picking up here and there a curious shell or a pretty pebble, while the boundless oceans of the truth lies undiscovered before me. So what happened is, so what he's saying, I'm going and playing in the beach, but that sea, what is happening in the sea? So for him, two things, one sea and what's happening in the thing. That's what curious about. And then at last, in 1727, when he was 85 years old, Sir Isaac Newton died, or rather, he ceased to live on the earth. See how he is playing with words, Nathaniel Hawthorne. He is saying he ceased to live. That means his mortal body is dead, that's all. But his mind, I think, is still searching. His spirit, that is, his spirit is still searching around what can be done, what is happening in the sky, what is happening in the ocean. That's what is, I think, and he is helping God. That's what he's saying. Nathaniel Hawthorne is saying, he is now, before he was helping mankind, now he is helping God to, helping him, finding out all that. That's what his his soul is immortal. Only his body is, that he is only dead, his body only is dead, but his mind and spirit is still alive. So that's what this lesson is about. I mean, whatever has happened, that is his friends and everybody says, what Temple and George, his friends, what are they saying is, if he was alive, he would have found out about the engines, the steam engines, and further about something, all new invention, what had happened, because based on his theory only, other people had found out. Okay, whatever is the law of motion, law of gravitation, everything based upon his mathematical calculation and theorems, based on them, or his finding only, other inventors has used this and invented something else. But if he had been alive little more, 85 he died, no, if he had been alive till 100, say he would have found out even that. Other people would not have found out, he himself would have found out all this new invention. That's what his friends are praising him. Okay, so that's what he was telling about the water mill, and then all the things, other creation, innovations. Okay, so that is about him, and hope you have understood this. Please give a reading. Once you read this lesson only, you will know that is the facts and how he had found out all the thing, all the description of the miniature windmill and the force of gravitation, whatever he had done. No, please give a reading. It's very important. Only then you will understand. Thanks for learning with me. See you soon. Bye.